and it never works. And the kids, as we see, these poor kids are suffering. All of these kids, like we never talk about the kids of divorced parents. Oh my God, the kids. Anyway, so have the balance to how you're choosing these people. No, just being a good man or a good woman doesn't mean that I'm compatible with you. So that's how I feel about it, JR.
All right, I'm gonna go to Bruiser next. Bruiser, what are your thoughts?
Man, I think people just getting into relationships and not. You said they. I think people get in relationships and they only thinking about themselves. When you get married, you got to think about everything. You got to think about whether you can be a wife or a husband, and most importantly, you got to think about the kids. So I think women today is going to struggle with this because a lot of them are trying to find a man to be the missing piece to their puzzle when they should be trying to be the missing piece to a man's puzzle. But women are already building themselves up to have a system, and now they're trying to find a man to fit in their system when they should be trying to see if they can fit into a man's system. So now they got all these criteria and preferences. That's just cutting this guy, that guy out, and they end up old, or they end up going from man to man and say, "Oh, this is not right for me." What about, is he a good husband or can he be a good father? And the fact that that's an issue, that's a crisis in our community. The fact that we don't look at that, that's the problem, because we don't have selflessness. I mean, yeah, we don't have selflessness. So if you don't have those things, you just best not get in a relationship. Period.
What if she don't want kids?
Well, if she don't want kids, then she don't want kids. She gotta talk to the guy, and they gotta have an understanding. And if they can't be in a relationship, then go ahead.
No, what I'm
You
saying
can't sit
is
here and say that he have. Oh,
the criteria to determine whether or not he's a good father or not then doesn't even play.
Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
but in this scenario, if he's got security, if he's got the finances, if he's able to love you emotionally, physically, all that, and take care of you and be a good father, good husband, and you say, "Oh, he doesn't make me laugh," I think that's an issue. But to each his own. Everybody got the right to have their preferences. But I think that kind of thinking is not going to help us fix this fatherless crisis issue.
I don't.
Because we're not willing to set aside, we're not willing to just take our duty and actually sacrifice the things that we may want and need for the betterment of a family. You get what I'm saying? And children.
I don't. I don't, because I think that so many other factors are to helps to determine whether or not y'all should be together. I don't think that. See, the problem is that, okay, it goes back to the same conversation that we've been having for the last few weeks. How do you determine whether or not a woman is going to be a good mother or not if she doesn't have kids yet?
How she treats you as a man.
That is not a determining factor for whether or not she's going to be a good mother.
Why not?
Because her nurturing the kids is completely different from what it is that she fell in love with for you.
So you saying when she has
kids are a sense of duty that has nothing to do with how whether or not she respects you as a man.
Well, I can't speak for every woman, but I can speak for my wife.
No. We're not talking about your wife specifically. How do you, because I don't want to make it personal to you unless you just want to use your wife as an example. But my point is, how do you determine whether or not somebody is going to be something when you don't even know what you don't know? Because I guarantee you that
you got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I guarantee you the majority of guys, if they knew what they know now, then they never would have had the kid with the person that took them to family court.
That's a fact.
And that's how the woman treats you. These women are treating these men like shit. So
the women treat the men like gold when they're with them. And then the minute they fall out, because you're not the same person under duress as you are when you're in love. You're not the same person.
That's a
You're
fact.
not the same person at 20 as you are when you're 30. Your circumstances will then determine what the outcome is going to be. And then that brings out wherever it is that you are in your life at that particular moment. You don't know what you don't know. And so there's so many other factors. And you guys are actually proving my point, because you're saying that there's other things that will then help determine whether or not you're going to be great in this other thing over here, which makes balance right. Because she's basically saying there's other things that you have to take into consideration that would then factor into whether or not you need to be with this person long term. Because you can't say that whether or not they're going to be a good mother or not if they don't already have kids, and you can't make that determining factor. You still guessing. You still making an educated guess. You
are.
You still guessing.
A woman doesn't even know what type of mother she's going to be before she has children. What are you talking about, lady?
Wait, hold on. Then that means you shouldn't be with these women if they don't know who they are. I'm talking about women who are knowing who they are. They're going to treat you with a certain amount of respect.
I said,
think about it like this. One more thing, Ali. We largely say that the brain isn't even fully developed until you're in your mid-20s. Yet we ask women, and we say that women need to get married earlier. Specifically, when they first get into college, they need to meet the person that they supposed wouldn't marry them. If your brain is not even fully developed as a human being until you get into your mid-20s, how do you even know who you are until you found? Men don't even know who they are until they suffer and they're under duress. They don't even know whether or not they are made the way that they're supposed to make until you find yourself in a situation where you're being tested. To be tested brings something out of a man.
Women are different after they have children.
Yet.
I agree to that. I'm not talking about getting married when you 18. I'm not even on that. I'm talking about, you said mid-20s. Okay, it's what, 25? All right, cool. Now, younger women, it's impossible. You're not going to know if a younger woman, or even a man, rather, is going to be a good mother or father. I agree to that.
So if you don't know whether or not you're a mother or father, how can we substantiate Bruiser's point as far as determining whether or not you should be with somebody based off of something that you have not even been through or know yet?
It's the same
you gotta
way
bring them around your family.
It's the same way you substantiate every take you have against our arguments when we ask you how you would think the experience would be if you didn't meet your woman at 18 and you had to go through the grunts that we went through as far as out here in this crazy ass dating world. You just said that don't apply to me. I met my wife when I was younger. That don't apply to me. I don't got those problems. What I'm telling you is the same thing. What I went off was
old enough at 40 years old. I don't have to speak based off of hypotheticals. I'm speaking based off of experience. So it's hard for me to answer it based off of a hypothetical when I've actually experienced life to the point that I've experienced it.
So you're not asking us a hypothetical?
No, I'm not.
I just told you I can tell you about my experience.
I'm not asking you a hypothetical. I'm criticizing something that you already said. See, I'm not asking you a question I'm not asking you to substantiate something you haven't already stated. You said out of your mouth, why aren't women doing A, B, C, and D? And then I said, how can they do A, B, C, and D when they don't even know themselves yet?
So if
what I said was, looking at him as somebody, look at him as somebody. Can he be a husband? Can he be a father? I think prioritizing those characteristics is important than somebody who's laughing. And y'all could argue to each his own. That's just my opinion.
And to clarify, that is Bruiser's wife. So I think that's why he's saying so much.
Anton, if a woman comes out of a household that was full of two parents, loving, caring, and you see that they raised her a certain way, you saying that from a woman coming from that perspective, you don't know if she's going to be a good mother, even though she had good parents?
No, you don't know. And as a matter of fact, we say all the time, women that are raised a lot of times in two-parent households often are the wildest ones in college. As a matter of fact, I use my own wife as an example. She wasn't raised in a two-parent household, and she barely even knew her father, but she wound up being the most feminine and submissive woman that I've ever met in my entire life.